type back to them. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, 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 hello. As you join us, friends, just enter your information below because we want to share the love. Welcome to a Reseller's Passion YouTube channel. I am Leslie Tucker. And I am here today with Tiana. Tiana, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I am Tiana, aka the Swag Slayer, creator of swagslayer.com, and I'm also Swag Slayer Fashion on YouTube and Instagram. And I just resell, little things.
Yeah, little things. We'll talk about those big little things in a minute. Hey, I'm like, there are no little things. We're going to speak that. We're going to work it. We're going to write the vision. We're going to make it plain. We're going to run with it. We're going to be like blow up. And that's what our group is about. Like, you have come to like the best group. Not saying that other people's groups aren't. But and I'm going to acknowledge some of those people. Michelle, I miss you, sweetie. You've been in my prayers. Dresden Avenue, who is Margaret. Nikki, hey girl, go, glow girl, go. See, I mess up too. So hello, 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 ladies. What is going on? Don't forget to drop your closets and all that stuff. Nikki, if you're not a moderator, I'm going to have to make you one. This thing right here doesn't do it. I'm going to have to do it behind the scenes later. So what's going on with everyone? Do you have any questions for Tiana? Because we can ask them as we go. Now, you can say as much or as little. Tell me a little bit more about yourself, maybe about your family. Do you have children? Whatever you want to talk about there.
Yeah, so for sure, I'm 100% married and I am a parent.
So 100% married.
I do have a little one. Where apparently I am now the principal, the counselor, the PE coach, and the teacher because we're virtual at home. So I've learned to juggle that on top of everything else I'm doing. But she's doing really good. Thank goodness. I actually think she's doing better at home than she does at school because she's so polite and she pays no attention. There are no friends here. So she just gets the work done. I guess she's 11. She's also her own entrepreneur herself. So she sells things because she learned from mommy. So she is trying to come up with a way to market her own business. And if you guys follow me over at Instagram, you saw pictures that I put up of my young entrepreneurship class.
We're talking about that. That's on my paper. Yeah, girl. I'm all about that. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yes, I am so familiar. Like I do take my hats off to the people who are virtual homeschooling. I tell people that, I'm not really so sympathetic to that because I homeschooled 5 children on purpose. So there you go. But there are limitations, I guess, because you have to follow like the school or the district's guidelines. Whereas like a regular homeschool, you just come up with your own curriculum, long as your children pass the standardized testing or whatever. And so I love that. We baked and we walked and we did all kinds of sciencey stuff. And I raised a couple nerds who are now smarter than me, which I'm super happy about.
I would have homeschooled if I had multiple children, but because I only have one, I thought it would be unfair to her to homeschool her because she needs that social interaction. Yeah. Like I said, she's a social butterfly. She needs to talk to other people, and sometimes I need her not to talk to me.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something. I totally get that. That's why I did like my children having siblings, because I'm like, excuse me, I'm a little. Can you go just for a minute? Just give me 10 minutes. Or that was the best way. Like my husband, he and we don't have children together. We have a blended family of 10, and so he says when it's time to go somewhere, I'm always on time. He's like, wow, you take that shower? I said, they're mommy showers. I had 5 children, so a 5-minute shower, I had to get everything done, and I'm dressed in like 10 minutes. Shower, and he was like, wow, when you say you're going to be ready, you're going to be ready. So it's a lot that your children prepare you for. So through homeschooling, through virtual learning, you're the teacher, you're everybody, principal, gym teacher, PE teacher. What have you learned about yourself through this process?
That I suck at being a teacher?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't say that. I think the school curriculum is, don't even get me started with that. But I think you were the first teacher, so you've already kind of prepared her for all the things, and you're still preparing her. She's 11, so you're still preparing her for some of the things. My phone is ringing. I don't know why. That she's going to deal with. I just think that it's the curriculum and how they want you to teach, I guess. I hear so many horror stories.
Yeah.
But you suck as a teacher. But what else are you learning about yourself through this process?
So I think what I've learned and what I've grown a respect for educators. Like not that I had disrespect for them before, but the things that they have to go through to make sure their students are reaching, the standard that's upheld. I mean, they have to do that for 22, 25 kids. I just have to do it for one.
Wow.
And then also, I am really enjoying that she's with me every day. So there's always a silver lining. I get to spend more time with her than sending her somewhere else 6 to 8 hours a day. So I set up a photo booth in her room. Like we have the Helix IKEA. So I just took one thing out. I bought a tiny photo booth and split it in. It's a 13 by 13. And so while she's online at her desk, I sit next to her and I photograph small things in that booth. So we get to spend more time together. We talk a little bit too much. I'm her classmate that's talking while she's supposed to be listening. So my fault. But I really just learned, to have that respect for the educators, just to see, wow, they really do a lot. I mean, I already thought they were underpaid, but now to really see all the things they have to do, because they email us if our student hasn't spent 30 minutes on this, an hour on this. And I just like, when is there enough time in the day for my student to do all of that? But we get it done.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. As I said, my youngest daughter is 18. She's virtual learning her college. She's a freshman. So she's doing that. So I stay out of her way because she gets into it real deep. And those teachers, those professors are no joke. So I can't even imagine from the elementary, middle school, high school level, or the end of her senior year, it was, she had, we were in the virtual learning phase. But I can't even imagine everything. I was a lunch lady. I wasn't a teacher, but I was around administration and every day just talking during break or them coming through to say hi, just what they were going through in school. So I can't even imagine what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Because they still have to be available, right? Like if you have an issue, they have to be available to talk with you.
They do.
And then vice versa. And then again, they have to be online a certain amount of time. My daughter has to do that for college. She doesn't. She gets up in the morning. She doesn't. She comes in to wear a blanket and she doesn't feel like being bothered. But her one teacher is really strict, and she took some points off because Sonia wasn't showing her face. And Sonia was like, "That's okay, Mom. I still have a 4.0." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So, okay, I'm gonna take a quick minute to say hello to some people over here. Some new people jumped in. Hello. Hey, Quimby. If you guys do not follow Quimby, the Grateful Queen, do that. She has great unboxings and things like that. I don't know what is going on over here, so I'm going to do that. Hello, Christy Blocker. What's up, Philly? Wendy Span. Hello, friends. Daniela's here. Daniela, we appreciate you stopping in. I know how busy you are. Reseller Wendy is here. What's going on at the post office? Glow Girl Glow and Reseller Wendy. I'm pretty sure you guys had a couple of days. Michelle is loving my new setup. Thank you, Michelle. I miss you so much, sweetie. Okay. It says the Grateful Queen just photographing the night away. Oh, Quimby, nice. She's making burritos. Oh, love it.
Yum.
Oh my gosh. I was just thinking about tacos today. I said, well, Tuesday, I missed that. Yeah. So I guess this week I'm going to have to do some tacos. Where's Rhonda? Some tiny tacos or something. Wow. Risa Wendy just said, I just worked my 12 hours today at the PO. That's a long day. That's a really long day. Okay. So, I want to know where we come up with Swag Slayer. You already know I was going to ask you that. Where did you come up with that? What was your goal, and where do you plan on going? No, let's just talk about your goal first. Why did you pick that name?
So I wanted it to be something unique. I didn't want it to just be simple. I didn't want to just use my name. I was like, that's, straight to the point. I want to have like a pseudo name or whatever, so like my stage name. So as you know, the word swag, pretty popular. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to use that. But since it is Swag Slayer fashion, it's because I slay the fashion every day, all day, no matter what. I mean, except for doing right now, I just wear pajamas all day. But before that,
hey. It is no shame in that game. I am telling you, I have on my yoga pants, man. These Walmart yoga pants been doing me good for
Yeah,
2 years. And I'm
yeah.
like, hey, I don't know about that Lululemon stuff, but these Walmart gels, man. And I said, John, I said, really, if y'all don't know what John is, it's a violent nerd, a verb or an adverb. It's a Philly John, right? Christy's here. She know what's up. Um, so I love being comfortable at home. What
Yeah.
did you do before you worked for yourself?
Well, I did several things. I've always had a side hustle. I always believe that for every heartbeat in your house, there should be two streams of income. If the heartbeat is under 18, we consider education, school, the first stream. And
Yep.
then they should have something they're working on, whether they cut grass. I mean,
Mhm.
not chores, because that's the same income that does not count. They
Right.
need to do something outside
I
to bring
hear
in more
you. I'm
income.
not. I didn't give allowance. I wasn't paying you to live at home. I'm
Right,
sorry.
right. That's part of your responsibility, the teamwork.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so I've always had something else. But in my professional life, I've always done sales. I really like sales, but I can only sell something I would use myself and really believe in. I've also done insurance sales because I think it's really important for people to have insurance in place, whether it's life
Yes.
insurance, because everybody needs that because we're going to pass away at some point, and health insurance because we are our most valuable asset. We have to keep ourselves fine tuned.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that 100%. Yes, we're all going to leave here one day. And oftentimes people think about what they're going to leave their children. They get into generational wealth and all that. I'm not really big on that. I have told my children I'm leaving them nothing. That I want them to believe that there's nothing so they don't prepare for
Right,
that. I want them to take care of themselves. I want them to create their own wealth. If something's left over, then it's going to get split equally. But if we prepare our children, if they're looking, I've seen so many families, get torn apart because they're waiting to see what mom and dad are leaving. So I've told all five of my children, I'm leaving nothing. So that way, when I go, there you go. You know what I'm saying?
right,
It's all written down. It's all taken care of. It's all written down. This is what's going there. And so, and I used to work in healthcare. I used to pay claims, so I know what it's like on that end. Life, death, dismemberment. I used to pay all those claims, so I know what it's like. And you're really not getting, you can pay for 20 years, and
right.
depending on what type of service or what you want to have, it's not going to take care of everything. So I think any sales like health insurance and life insurance, really, really important, especially now more than anything. And so hopefully there are people who are providing these services for people who don't have a lot of money. That's
Yeah.
the key too, you
Yeah.
know.
And with people who don't want to leave anything behind, because I've come across people that are like, I'm not leaving my kids nothing. So what they do is they'll buy like the prep. So they'll buy their lot, their
Mhm.
headstone, like they'll pay for all of that up front. So it's paid for. So the kids don't have to pay for it,
Yeah,
but there's nothing, left for them
yeah,
because they do want them to fend for themselves. And I totally understand that because
yeah.
if you're expecting a paycheck on
Yeah.
Friday, why get up and hustle?
Yeah,
You're not going to.
exactly. Plus, I'm like you. My husband and I, this partner that I have now, we totally agree business. But my children, even when I was a single mom, I ran two businesses, working two jobs. So they've always seen me hustle. They always knew that there would be food on the table and a place for them to sleep and clothes on their back, regardless of, even if they weren't aware of everything. I think it's really important. And then some people don't realize it could be the smallest side hustle. Like my first side hustle, I was crocheting, and people were like, "Oh, can you make that?" I was like, "Hey," and that actually was more lucrative than reselling because I sold on Etsy for 8 years. I'm
Right.
there now, but then I made some cakes. Man, if you are broke and you have a skill set, man, you better figure out how to you better
Yeah.
figure out how to get that in front of some people, right? You
Yeah,
know?
I believe in that. Anything you are good at doing, someone is willing to pay you for it. And even if you're not that great at it, they're still willing to pay you so they don't have to do it.
And but that is like so true. Like talk about that post that I put out yesterday, and I know you've put out similar posts. Like people don't realize that everything they do goes beyond what they consider branding. Like we can look at you. Technically, everything that you have behind you and you're wearing is not your brand. That's how people identify you. But you, Tiana, are your brand. So when they think of Swag Slayer, they're going to think, "Oh, that's Tiana." And I love her stuff. That's what I want people. That's what people don't understand. They think all the other stuff, that's branding. You are your brand. You are the person who represents your company. The other stuff is just stuff because you start off slow, right? And then you build that up. Like, oh, I got a little bit of money. Let me now get my stuff. Let me get my website. Let me do all that stuff. So I think it's really important. And as far as children are concerned, sometimes parents don't think about like their children can start businesses, because I've had conversations with people where they think that, like we were talking about allowance, like why wouldn't you give your children allowance? Well, one, I have five, so it's five people. I'm only one, so I'm only going to dirty up like how many dishes, whatever. But if they're using the stuff, why are you paying them to clean up their own mess? That's that's the right. And
so when
then,
they say, oh, say like, well, I'm not cleaning it because I'm not getting paid.
Right. Hello, but exactly. So it's really, you're creating your own monster, right? Because then now you're in the battle, and you can't really punish them because you've created that. You've created that. So that's the first part. But the second part, I think, like business, we should really start our children off. Like, even if in our minds, they might not be the best artists, but if they get started, you know what, you can take that piece of art and turn it into some thank you cards, into some stickers. You can, if you're a gamer, my son, he's an adult now, but he loves games. Man, get your butt on YouTube and Twitch and make some money. So it's different ways we can encourage them,
And sometimes the thing they start doing that we encourage them to do, it might not be the thing that brings them the success, but it gives them the confidence to keep trying things.
Yeah. Well, that would be true with even us as adults, right? Because how many businesses did you probably start that may not have progressed the way that you wanted them to? So you probably considered yourself a failure, not realizing that was your learning tool. So how many businesses before you got here did you try?
I want to say, I did some with my husband before this. So this is probably number 11.
Okay.
And they were all profitable. We could not scale them in the way that we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So we, after a point, you have to let them go. So yeah, I think this is 11. You're going to make me go like write them all down later and double check.
Hey, but you know what? The cool thing about that, see, I've given you some food for thought, but also people don't really think about it that way. That everything that we try is just a stepping stone to the next thing. See, life is not about arriving anywhere. The only destination that you're ever going to get to is the end of your life. So if you continue to work every single day, you're working to get somewhere, but then the satisfaction comes when you finally close your eyes and you fulfill something, just at least in yourself. So that's how I look at life. It's not like, oh, I'm trying to know. It's every day learning. You're never going to get there. And that's the cool thing. You shouldn't. So you get one business off the ground and going, okay, it's time off for the next. Then you get your businesses going. Now it's time for you to go teach. See, that's the stuff that I do. So the reselling community may think, oh yeah, she's just Leslie. That's okay. Hey, no big deal. So I think that we're preparing ourselves, but also if we take the time and really think about it, we have something that we can give back. We can give back. So let's talk about. So how did you get into reselling?
Well, I was fired for like the first time ever.
So you were fired.
Yeah. In the middle of having my house built. And that don't work because you ain't signed the closing papers. So you're like, oh, yeah, no.
You have to have
Yeah. So I was let go, which didn't matter because I was like, I'm quitting in exactly 4 weeks. I was like, I'm gonna work 2 weeks, I'm gonna get my 2-week notice, and I'm out, because it was not copacetic. The way they were running that business, I was like, you guys are going to get sued. I need to get out of here because I was in charge of over 100 people. And so if something went wrong, they were going to look at me. So if people were getting hurt on the job and stuff, I was like, I need to be out of here. So my friend had told me about Poshmark, but I kind of just blew it off because I was busy. I had a career. And I was like, I'll just take my stuff to the local consignment because I just don't have time. So when I lost my job, I called her and said, what was that website you told me about? She was like, Poshmark. So I got on and I started listing stuff and stuff started selling. Like, I was surprised. And I was like, cool, I'm going to pay these bills, right? Nice. So I just kept with it because I couldn't believe that I can make this amount of money just taking photos of stuff that I found in my closet.
Right.
And then that turned into retail arbitrage and thrifting. And then I made a few things because I make earrings and stuff, but that's time consuming. So I sold those too. And that's really what launched me. So I'm so grateful that I got fired before I quit, because I think if I quit, I would have just went and found another job. But because I
Yeah.
got fired
Oh,
roughly,
definitely,
I had to
definitely.
think of something fast. And
Yeah.
so I'm very grateful for that. God had a plan. He said, "Oh, you think this is what's going to happen, but it's not." But then I was also able to incorporate that because I still had my insurance license.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still able to sell insurance on the side, which
Mm-hmm.
was still income for my home. So we finished the home and we signed the closing papers. So we were still good.
Yeah, and that's like I'm really a big supporter of having some type of licensing or certificate as a backup plan. Like I'm ServSafe certified because I'm a professional baker by trade, and that's what I was doing when I met my husband 9 years ago, baking, and had my own dessert business also. And that ServSafe, I got that myself. Like my bosses didn't get that. Then when I came here and couldn't find a job in Delaware, I could find a job. They weren't trying to pay me what I was used to getting paid. I went into the school district, but hey, I was ServSafe, and that was the cool thing. I actually was ServSafe before they were requiring
Oh,
the
wow.
regular people. Only administratives, the directors, and the managers are the only ones who had to have ServSafes. So I was already in there. Mine expired during the time I was there, and they paid for me to get another one. So I've always kept my ServSafe. It's about to expire in January, and I took my daughter and I are both going to get ServSafe at the same time. We'll be study buddies. So I just keep it because you never know, and it's not even for a job. Like I can go, like if someone needed help with their wedding or whatever, or if I did need a job, I can go work because I had that ServSafe. I've never been to culinary school, but I've gotten jobs. The last 3 jobs I had in Philly were jobs I was working next to people who had graduated from the culinary school. Yes, I taught myself how to bake. So you never know. When we talk about hustling, that I stayed home with my children, and that was the first job I got. I just said, "Let me try it." You never know. I wasn't professionally trained. I went in and I got this job baking at a cafe. The cafe that the mayor of Philly would come to, and different people. Yes, so you never know. Have a certificate, have something as a backup plan. My daughter, she's a CNA. She's working now. She's been certified since she was 16. She went to a Votech school, and she's working, I mean, like making good money that a lot of people who have,
can't make.
Yes, you can't make. And that's like so amazing, right? And that's just because I told her, I said, keep that certification. It only costs you $20 every time you move to a state. You're certified, you just research, and it's amazing. I'm gonna say friends
for
first.
anybody listening,
Yes.
like a certification sometimes is better than your bachelor's degree, because I have a bachelor's degree. I made more money without it.
Yeah.
I made more money just having a license. Like everything I've ever done outside of that, I've made more money. I sometimes don't know why I have it, because they really just put me into debt because I have student loans because of it. So I tell my daughter, I remind her, I say, "What license do you get when you're 16? She's like, "My driver's license." I say, "What license do you get when you're 18? She's like, "My insurance license," because she knows like those are the steps. Like she's gonna go to college. Don't get me wrong, she's going, but she's going to be certified and have a license to do something where she can get paid upwards amount of money.
Seriously, because it's also the thing with that is if she's selling insurance, or also there would be like a real estate license, anything like that. You can work part-time because one, you can go to college. Like I was just telling my husband this about like my daughter. She can do whatever she wants because that's her path, not mine. But I can give you an example because I'm all about like follow the money. I'm all about like really, you can go to community college for 2 years.
Yes.
You have a CNA, take all those first classes that you need to take. But I have a daughter, my 29-year-old daughter, she struggled in school. She just got her associate's degree. She's already finished her first semester of her bachelor's degree, and now she's working. So it can be done. And so you don't have to put yourself in debt. Like my youngest one, she's not in debt. We're paid cash for school. Like she got scholarships and stuff, and I just paid them money so that now she can register for the next semester. And so you don't have to go in debt. And I do want my children to go in whatever direction. I don't have a college degree, and I said this a couple lives ago. I would never force them. I'll allow them. I give them scenarios for them to think about where they want their life to go. But that's not like, I'm not the person who wants my children to have what I didn't have. What I want my children to have that I didn't have was feeling loved, having dialogue, you know what I'm saying? Having a comfortable place to live. My childhood wasn't good. So that's the stuff that I give them in place of stuff,
anyway. That is what's most
Yeah.
important.
Well, some people don't have that perspective. I do hear my friends, oh, I want my daughter to have what I didn't have. So now you're putting her in ballet classes. She don't want to be there, but that's your dream. And I've never been a helicopter mom. All my girls dance, and I'm like, you good? Bye. And I would leave them and go. I'm not sitting back there. I'm not behind the stage. I steamed all the clothes. That was my thing. I did some I fundraised for you. Peace. First day of school. Peace. Everyone's different. When you have 5, you're all about that. Oh, the baby is her first day. Got a couple tears. Peace out, baby. And that's just who I am. So I've never been in hell. All my kids that tell you that. You ready to go? You ready to leave? Okay, I'll see you, sweetie. I'm going to miss you because my daughter was supposed to be in Florida in college. It would have been like, I would have dropped her off. I would have shed a tear. I shed a tear the first day of school. Graduation, I was crying like a baby. But hey, now mama could have that extra bedroom. That's just like everyone's different. Everybody's path is different. Everybody's parenting is different. I'm always going to tell you what I do. So, and I try to say, don't take offense because I'm only preaching from my perspective. That's all I can give y'all.
Like, I am definitely not the helicopter parent with like, oh, they can't get hurt or whatever, but I am trying to be at every single thing because I'm only going to do this once. She's only one. But if I had multiple kids, I would have been like, yeah, okay, well, y'all go together.
For real. Yeah. And then you just got to figure out what's important because it's like, then you have like, especially when one of the things about the dance that was awesome because all 4 of my girls danced and the dance school was local. And it was one big show. You just had to sit through from beginning to end because they all dance. You have the 2-year-old and then you got the one that's in the company. So that was like, okay, yeah. And you can't go to the bathroom because you don't want to miss anything or whatever. So but then it's that, then my son is playing soccer and then my daughter's playing volleyball. So it's like, oh my gosh. It's raining, so we won't go to the soccer game. So let's go inside, and so that becomes a challenge. And then as they get older, and then it's another school my youngest went to school way far away, and I was like, oh man. So you just do the best you can, and they know you're there. They of course. You do what you can. Let me say hi to some friends. Thank you, Terry. I see you. Discount deals for you. Brittany, what is going on? Hello, everyone. I thank you for joining us. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Okay, Michelle says, I have ServSafe certification, certified in welding, need to renew, and certified pharmacy tech. Pharmacy tech is awesome too. My daughter, Stacy, who will be 25, was at pharmacy tech. Yes. Hello. I'm enjoying this, getting motivated and entertained all by the stories while reclining in front of the fireplace. Thank you for sharing your insights. Definitely. I played volleyball too, Christy. I'm not at Temple. I did play for Dobbins though, Christy. If we never discussed that, I went to Dobbins down in North Philly. So it's Christy. She's from Philly. Okay. So you're reselling. Now you have a website. Tell us about your website. What is different from what you're doing over on Poshmark and compared to what you're doing on the website?
That is a great question. So the website, because so with everything going on kind of on Instagram, people were purchasing inventory boxes, sellers on Instagram, but then never receiving their inventory boxes and never getting a refund. And I ended up being one of those people and didn't even realize it until I saw somebody else post on Instagram that they never got their stuff. And I was like, oh, wait, I ordered from there and my stuff hasn't come either. So I never got a response. And so I was already thinking about launching a website, but you get busy or you get nervous and you let fear stop you. So I just kept putting it on the back burner. And I just sat down and I said, enough is enough. This is happening to too many people in the community. People need to have somebody they trust, somebody they see who's really going to send them inventory because everybody can't go out. Everyone's stores aren't open, still, which is amazing to me because my whole state is open, but there's still some places that aren't open. So I was like, okay, I'm already outsourcing for myself. I might as well source for other people who can't. And if they like to get an inventory box, they can head over to the website and I'm happy to send it out to them because I always have more inventory than I can post myself anyway. So that's what started it. And I just literally 24 hours, I just sat down and I knocked it all out and I launched it having no idea what I was doing. But I made it work. And like every day or every week, I try to improve it as I learn more and more about having a website, because that is not an easy thing.
No, it's not. Yeah, you're your own marketer, and that's what I talk about here when it comes to the platforms. I always want everyone to understand, especially when they complain and different things that go on. We're just renters in that space.
Right.
The best thing you could do is create a website. Just get yourself a landing page just to get started and a domain, because you never know what could happen. So, for instance, we don't want it to happen to anyone, but if your store got closed, say you sell on multiple platforms, we've seen these stores go bankrupt. I don't know if online is that's going to happen, but in reality, right, we have to be prepared for anything. Never put everything in one place.
Right.
And so if you create a website, you've already built a community. You can shift. You can shift, you can pivot, you can turn. Man, there's so many things that you can do because you're preparing yourself. You're laying that foundation. And I think it's so cool. I say at least try it. Find a platform that you can afford. I know Tiana is on Shopify. I have 2 Shopify websites. Just do your research and think about what it is you can afford. You can also sell the same stuff. You don't have to do boxes. You can sell the same clothes. It's a whole different audience. Share to Twitter, share to Pinterest, create a Facebook page. All these things, there should be no excuse for that. So I like that. Aside from your boxes, what else are you doing with your website, or are you trying to do with it?
Well, I put up some individual items. I'm still trying to figure it out because, like I said, I just was like, in response to all the crazy, I just launched it in 24 hours. So I have listed some individual items. And so it's only been, is today the 5th? So it's been up a month and 4 days. So I'm trying to decide what direction it's going to go in. So I listed some new with tags items. And so my first thought was any individual items I list, they'll all be new with tags.
Yeah.
But not talking with Chris, but I mentioned it the other day and he looked like, well, why? And he asked me, he's like, well, how come you're not selling anything else? And I was like, Chris, I don't know. I just started. So I might. And he suggested that I also sell like the thrifted items, the ones that are in excellent condition for people who just want to buy them. Yep. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I think over time I may lend to that, but I'm not sure. We will see.
It's a lot of people. A good person to look at would be our good friend Lori. Lori's Boston Found. She does have a website. You know Lori. Do you know who Lori is? Okay. So I would definitely look at her website because she actually just started herself. And so what she just kind of started playing around with it. It's several other people that I can name, like Denali, but Denali does most of her newer stuff on her website. But Lori, she actually has just been putting, curating items together. So I love what she's doing, where she's actually lives in the Boston area. So as she sources in certain areas, she calls like one curated whatever area of Boston or Massachusetts that she shopped. I'm just giving you, because I've been there. I've met Lori and I've met Daniela. So Daniela's in Rhode Island. So if Lori goes to Rhode Island, this will be her Rhode Island curated, whatever. So you could do, again, you're already doing like plus sizes and all that other stuff. So you could just do the thrifted items. You never know what's going to sell. I mean, Chris is really smart. I take all his advice because he's always like, anytime he sees me, he's like, you're doing some digital stuff, right? I got you, Chris. I'm already on it. I got the 2 ebooks. They're out there, baby. I'm working on the next step. So I would definitely just see what happens. You never know. And just market. We're learning a lot. Plus, you were already in sales, so you have an idea, right? And that's the cool thing. Like, just to see you're taking your background. Reselling is just another business. We just call it, years ago, because Daniela will tell you she's been selling stuff for half her life, and they were called resellers back then. Even when you were selling on eBay in the beginning, my husband's been selling on eBay since the beginning. They weren't resellers. You can have a yard sale. That's a reseller because you're reselling something from your house. I mean, so it's just a play on words. So you can figure out a way, to sell some really great items, and through your website, as you already know, that's giving you a chance to, target some newer people. Because that's what I'm doing. Like a lot of the things that I'm doing, I'm actually taking outside of the reselling community because the reselling community already most of the people think they already know what they need to know. Not in a
Right.
smart way. I'm not being sarcastic or anything, but a lot of people, and it's hard to kind of, sell stuff because it becomes this controversial thing. Like she said, Daniela says, I have literally been selling everything I own forever. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Because I think she says 16. Yeah.
I always tell my friends, I've been training for this my whole life and I didn't even know it. I
Yeah.
know where to find a sale. I
Yeah.
know where to find it at a really good price where somebody will want to buy it and they're happy and I make money. I've been doing that my whole life. I started off on Craigslist. Like you said, we didn't know if you're selling. I
Mhm.
just posted up there. Somebody come to my house. We make money.
Yeah.
So,
There it is. And that's what people don't understand. And not even beyond reselling, it's like, how many skill sets do we have that we
right.
don't think about? Like Michelle, now I'm on her because serve safe. I don't think I remember her telling me she was serve safe, but now we're talking welding. Like seriously. Hello, it doesn't even have to be you doing something physically. I think if you have a skill, you can put together, you know how fast to put together an ebook, like
Yeah.
women who weld. I mean, like seriously,
Right.
come on, ladies. This group, I really haven't been putting it on them lately, Tiana. So you haven't really seen me in action. But seriously, I already have a couple ideas, and I just scheduled a Zoom chat for this coming Sunday. So hopefully, many people can join because I'm like, okay, so we're being dead right now, and the holiday is about to come. It's all about pushing everyone outside of their comfort zone and really helping them think because we think, no, no one's interested in that, or I don't have enough skills, or who am I? You never know until you put it out there. You
Right.
know, you're, and the reason why, the real truth, you guys want to know the real truth, the reason why you don't do anything, because your family told you that you can't. And
Someone
those are
told
the
me,
people that
yeah.
you love and trust. So when they told you you couldn't do it, you're like, yeah, I'm not good enough. No one's going to want that. You're still out there reselling? You're selling other people trash? You what? And I go, are you paying the bills? Nope.
Right.
So
Right.
that's why I build people up because they forget. That's why I validate people because I like, you can do it. I see in you what you don't see in yourself. And then when you start, because I can say it's plenty of people here showing off. Nikki showing off like crazy. She
Yes,
just
she
showing
wrote
off,
it
right, Nikki?
so much. I love it when she's doing things because then I'm like, I need to get off my butt and do something too.
For real, I tell these ladies, nothing happens by accident. This
Right.
little group that we have is like, man. My husband told me today to watch out. In 5 years, I will be self-made millionaire. I have too many skills. I have been. Listen, I'm telling you, let's do it. I say I stand in agreement right there with you
Yep.
because that's what I mean. My husband says all the time. My father, every time I talk to him, he's like, "So, did you write the book?" And I said, "Well, Dad, okay. So I have 2 ebooks. How's that? Okay, So he listens to my podcast. He's probably watching this as we talk, because he'll tell me. He said, "Girl, every time I turn on YouTube, do you pop up?" So it's like, and like now that I have a bald head, I look just like my father. It's like amazing, lips, nose,
Oh,
hands, and so it's so amazing to me. But we can do it, ladies. I believe it 100%. Michelle says I have never really throughout thought about throughout about until what? What did she say, Tiana? You never thought about it until you put it out there. Okay, there we go. Hey, that's what we need. We need one. I would love to say as women because we do have a thing. Thomas, we don't have that many friends. You know why? We just be hating on each other, but we have to get
that's
to a place
true.
of love where we care about each other. It shouldn't be about like, all the time. That's why I say, I do my little posts, my gentle persuader, my little videos and stuff because I can't stand people will send me messages. I made the video after a couple people sent me messages like, so what's this controversy going on? And I want to do a collective video that we all get together and tell our story. I'm going to explain to somebody why I'm out here hustling and making money. No,
Because
I
if
just
they
want to,
understand that from jump, then nothing I say is gonna make
yes,
them understand
I,
it.
I totally agree 100%. So I just said, yeah, and I came back like someone said to me, I participate in a lot of things and I'm a, I tell people, my friends, I will participate. Like my friend has this thing and she wants me to hold up this sign. And she was like, oh, you don't know how many people said no. I said, let me tell you the truth. I say no more and more now. I
Yeah.
don't have time. I really don't. And that's sincere. So I said, please don't, I want to explain to you. regardless of how you think, don't give me anybody's name. Don't tell me who it is or whatever. You don't know what their issue. If they're out there building money, making money, they don't have time.
Yeah.
We want to come together and, I'm not doing any more giveaways. Do not contact me, because they think my name is big. I just don't have time for it. And I'm okay with saying no. So you can say I'm mean or whatever. Now, I've been in a place because it could be like a reverse. Sometimes I sit back and think, and you probably know, you have a show, how many people that probably say no to you. I think that's a kind of a little bit different. It's the approach. If you don't want to do it, no, thank you, I'm not interested. No, there will people be going like, yeah, I looked at your numbers. I can't deal with you. It doesn't make me salty, but it makes me look at that person. When all the other people, and I see, it happens to be about 3 or 4 people that consistently, and I'll look at them as like, yeah, you're not even getting any of my time anymore. And so I'm not going to tell that to anyone else. I mean, I'm not going to tell who they are because it's really not going to fit. If you already got your crowd, they don't care, So I think as a unit, we should all support each other.
Yes.
And that's why I have this group. We were on Facebook, and I was like, you know what? Now we're a small knit group. We can get together. We can do the chat. We can do Zoom, and I want to push everyone. I want to push them. I think it's really important.
You give them accountability, and then you kind of give them a challenge, because
Yes.
sometimes when you're the only one doing what you're doing in your general vicinity, it's difficult to stay encouraged all the time. But then to see someone on the other side of the world say, hey, I'm doing this, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm doing this. Y'all work together.
Yeah, definitely. So Christy says, I would like to start a Shopify too. I need to improve with marketing. That's my problem. But right now I have stuff on Facebook Marketplace. This is the issue. This is the thing too. For those who use List Perfectly, List Perfectly is Facebook Marketplace, Shopify. You can list it right from Poshmark to Shopify. So you already have those things. That's all you have to do. Christy, it's not even about the marketing. The cool thing about Shopify with any platform, whether it be Etsy, whether it be Poshmark, whether it be eBay, whether it be Mercari, when you go into your stores, no matter what store it may be, all the icons are there. It's just up to you to attach your social media. Like if you have Twitter, all you're doing is attaching it. If you have a Facebook page, you're attaching it. If you have Pinterest, which I suggest everybody utilize Pinterest. Pinterest has exponentially grown my business. Okay. So link all of that and pin these things. Take a couple days a week. You can do it. You're on lunch break. Bam, bam, bam. You're sharing. Go through your Shopify, go through your Mercari, go through your eBay and share some of this stuff. You have to market on your own. Come on now. Seriously. It's your own method of sharing. You're just sharing on your own. So that's why build up your Twitter, invite people to like your Facebook page, go and follow a bunch of people on Pinterest. And really with Pinterest, you don't even need that. Once you create all your boards and everything and get them into action, use your hashtags and your titles and everything. It's on. I'm telling you, I get more traffic from Pinterest for my podcast than anything else. So there you go. Okay. Let me see. I see some comments. So if anybody has any questions for Tiana, let me know. Oh, Maria. Hi, Maria. I'm so glad you're feeling better. I did not like the way your eyes were looking. That was not making me happy at all. So let's talk about your talk show.
So yes. Every Friday night is called the Swag Slayer Feature Friday on IG Live, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I typically feature another entrepreneur. So you don't have to be a reseller to be on the show, but if you're an entrepreneur, because other people want to hear your story, other people want to get to know you. Grant Cardone says the reason why your stuff isn't selling is because you're obscure. So let's get you in front of more viewers. Let's get you talking about your story, because people buy from people they like. Yes. So when we get on the live show, we just talk about you, what you're doing, and your journey. And then if someone likes you, then we direct them where they can go to see your product. So we do that every Friday. Even if I don't feature someone on Friday, which, by the way, tune in this Friday. It's going to be discount deals for you, Brittany. She's going to be on there live.
So Brittany, another one over there showing off. I have to throw that out there. Brittany's showing off too. Showing off, showing up, showing out. That's right, y'all. Do it.
Even on the nights I don't have someone on the show, I still jump on to be consistent, and I give tips on reselling. Most of my tips are from Poshmark because that's the platform I'm on and I know like the back of my hand. So I still do that on Friday nights. And then, of course, if you want to be on the show, instead of DMing me, which you can always do, I'm up for, you can find the link in my bio or just go to swagslayer.com and you can book the link through the website as well on a
Yeah.
Friday that works for you. And then we just get
Hit that
together.
Tiplo up, y'all. Hit it up. I just added my Tiplo. It was on my thing to do. I've been fighting with it for the last 2 weeks, and I think I got it figured out. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what was your initial goal for starting that talk show?
I just started that show because I wanted to help other resellers. And at the time, I was like, what is the best and the fastest way? Because YouTube, I don't like to edit. To be honest, I hate the playback and hearing my voice over and over and over. So I wanted something that I could just jump on and do. And that person can jump on and they could talk all about themselves for a whole 45 minutes to an hour because it's all about them. And then I can play it on IGTV. And then I can rip it off IG and then put it on YouTube still, so people on YouTube can still be able to connect with that person and watch the video over and over. I just really wanted to be able to help resellers in the community. That's really what the show is about. Any way to get you in front of more people, to help you sell more stuff, and to help them get to know you.
Yeah. So when you go on by yourself on a Friday, what type of tips would you provide to someone who is maybe getting started on Poshmark?
Well, if Poshmark has a new feature that came out that week, I definitely talk about that. I explain how it works, how you can use it, where to find, to go turn on the settings. Like they had the what's it called? The packing slip came out. So I did a video on that and went through the steps on where to find it. And then what I do when I post it on YouTube, I do go and edit and I put the pictures with the arrows so you can see it visually. You know, you can't do that on live, but I can do that on YouTube so they know where to find the stuff. Because if you're new to Poshmark, there are a lot of options and there are a lot of steps, and it looks different on desktop than it looks on mobile. So you want to kind of know where to navigate yourself to set yourself up for success. So it's any kind of way to help you run your business a little better or help you make more money.
Yeah, I'm all about making more money. How about everybody else? Anybody have, look, Tiana throwing out tips. She is on YouTube. She's been on YouTube for a while. Like, how long have you been on YouTube? And I think you're just kind of getting back, or
I don't know, because I first started off using Poshmark. I was like, okay, I'm gonna also pay off debt with my Poshmark, but then I was like, this doesn't make sense because I just lost my job and I need to pay these bills. So my first couple of videos are about paying off debt, but you see that quick return to something different. So I just give like money making tips on Monday, on live, also on IG. If I don't do it live on IG, then I just post it to YouTube. And then the other things I'll be going through is just kind of, I want to do a tutorial if I can figure out my technology. Y'all know I'm bad at that, but I'm working on it. So I can go from step by step, from the first step all the way to getting a closet up and running and how to ship your stuff out. So everything I talk about is really what brands that you could buy, what they could sell for, but I'm not going to tell you what brands to buy or not buy because everyone's closet is different. Right. But then how to put a sale in your closet, how bundling works, the benefits of shipping in smaller boxes or the same day, just tips like that to kind of just help you tweak it because it's a lot when you're first starting out. I remember.
Yeah. So for that, all you need to do is you just go set yourself up. I don't know if you're on Zoom, but you can do it in 40 minutes. Do the free on Zoom. Come on, share your screen. You can hide yourself. You don't have to. Your arrow will do the same thing. Open up your Poshmark closet and you can take them. That's how I do my little trainings. From Facebook to Pinterest. Yeah.
Oh, but I need to do it from the computer, huh, Leslie?
Yes, you need to do it from the computer. Yeah. So, well, I mean, you'll figure it out. Plus, the cool thing about it is you're talking about lighting, so you don't have to show yourself. You can click the little button and it will minimize you. You won't even see yourself. You'll just see your whole screen. So that's the cool thing because that's one of the things we discuss. So you can still share your screen and bring Poshmark and whatever else. Once you do it, you'll love it. That's I don't have time all the time. And then the cool thing is like you can just edit that. So if you start off with yourself and you're trying to figure some stuff out, I can because I have Mac. I can link my iPad or my phone, and I've been, doing some Instagram things and stuff, and I want to do a little bit more. And you just edit it down, do an intro or whatever you do your little intro that you have that comes on in the front. And so you'll figure out, definitely go on Zoom and practice that. I practiced for like a day or two and then came on. Technology and I don't get along. I fake it till I make it. And once I make it, I'm still faking it. Seriously, I was telling my husband, I have a list. I told him, I said, look, between Sarah's dashboard yesterday, between Tipo today, man, I just feel my age, but then I don't feel bad because now you're saying that you're having some issues.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
listen, but the cool thing is videos for everything.
There
And
is.
I'm willing to learn. And that's the cool thing. It's like, I'm a person, I do this with everything. I may take a little bit of time away. And I think that's what people do because they'll get so frustrated that they're just done, right?
Yeah.
You can't, if you really want it bad enough, don't give up.
Right. You can't be done because you got to learn it. And the fun part is, as soon as you learn it, they update it. So you got to
I
learn
know,
it again.
don't even start me. that was a good one. So true. That's so true. Like, seriously, come on now. Like, seriously, gosh. Oh, that's how it was. I don't know what I was trying to learn something, and I went to YouTube and I sat and watched a video from April and then went to the other thing. They just updated the first week of October.
Yeah.
It's like, no, why? But so I just think if this is for anyone, I'm going to get to that in a minute. You can't tell. Thank you, Nikki. I love you. No, Nikki, I'm telling you, she show off because I said to her last week, she gets on here, does the first video. It's all pretty, nice lighting. She's got the banner. She's got the thumbnail. I'm like, well, excuse me. Hello. Like, you know, I love it. But I was just like, wow, like, look at that. And then on the other end, you guys see sending me DMs going like, listen, I'm going to kill this. Like, she was like, it took me 3 hours to get this thumbnail. And I'm like, so it's like, it was like that different. It's like, it's hysterical. I'm like, it is what it is, but at least you're following through and trying to figure out, how to do things. So Nikki, she asked a question that she's asking a question that I was going to ask you. So I'm just going to throw that out there. How do you manage both YouTube and the lives?
So the live, is not fully scripted. If I do have someone on this show, I prep them before because a lot of people I have on the show have never been on a live and I don't want them to feel nervous. So we kind of do the whole show before. So then we get on, they're just kind of, going through. Yeah, because they're just kind of going through it again so they don't feel nervous. But people who've been on the live, we just jump on.
Wow.
I mean, if I want to take that video from IG, I just take it and put it on YouTube. But you don't have like the black bars. So I just try to put like my website and stuff. I just started doing that because before it just had the black bars. But I was like, I got to do something with these bars. And then YouTube is totally different. I don't talk about the same stuff because Friday night is an interview or a tip. It's kind of more scripted on my YouTube because I take notes, I write them down. And then, of course, I edit it because I end up saying the wrong stuff or whatever. Cut it out and fix it. And just make it kind of look cohesive. So for the person watching, they're not like, what is this girl doing? But if there are days I don't feel like editing and I will just put it up without the edit and you're just going to have to work through my mess ups.
Hey, that's what people want to see though. Like that's me because they'll hear the people. You'll hear me say I'm not editing because it doesn't matter what time of day I sit here. The train that is 6 blocks away comes. I'll go. Wait a minute. I will go like, okay, the trash truck. He's coming at 10, so I'm gonna just wait a little bit. No, don't be at 1 o'clock that day, and I'm right out the window. It's right outside my door. Or I'm here going. I'm like, here come a train. I'm not editing that, y'all. Y'all gonna just hear that train back there. And then sometimes when I play it back, you can't actually hear the train, which is like really funny. But I'm letting people know at certain points that I'm not going to. But I also think that is how people see, you're a regular person. I don't like people who are too scripted. I back away from that because it's like, that's nice. I think we all work up to a point.
Right.
We don't, because C even says, hey, Blake, what's going on, darling? Everybody should be following Posh Boss Blake. He is doing some crazy stuff. You can tell Blake is on quarantine. But I would definitely just say, just be your authentic self, I mean, that's like, because Tiana, she was like, do you have any questions or whatever? Nope, we're going to just wing it when we get on here because I like to have fun on the YouTube channel. Instagram, too. It's all continual. But when I start doing my masterclass, that's going to be a little bit different. Not too, because it's going to be a lot of those people aren't resellers. They're not in my community. So I'm building new So I don't want to be too crazy. So what I want to know, tell us, we have a couple minutes left. Let's talk about your Young Entrepreneurs Program. I'm very
Yeah.
excited about that. I saw those pictures of the young ladies, and that fills my heart, with young people just getting that entrepreneur spirit and starting really young to build their future
Yeah,
foundation.
so we just started that. So it's just the Swag Slayer Young Entrepreneur class. We do it via Zoom. We do have a book that is made for kids. It's called How to Turn $100 into $1 million, and they
Nice.
can walk in the book. And it's just to encourage them to open their mind that because school trains you to be an employee, there should be something to train you to not be. So you have the option, whichever one makes you happy, you can do. If you've never been trained to be an entrepreneur, then you feel like you're stuck in the employee path. But if you get the training for both, you can do both or one or the other. So I just wanted to make sure that I build up those young ladies to see that they can do more than what is taught to them in school. And they went out and killed it Sunday. So I missed the Zoom class, but they had so much fun. They made so much money and they handmade the items that were on the
Good
table.
stuff. Hey, I'm a handmade girl, so I'll do handmade. And I was vending for years. When I met my husband, I was vending. When I moved here to Delaware, the first 3 years, every Saturday and Sunday, I was out vending. So that handmade is the way to go. You
It
never
is.
know. Oh my gosh, I love that. First of all, let's go back to the book. Did
Yes.
you write this book?
No.
Okay, because I was going to say, so where are you selling it? So my thing is, that might be an option. I just put people in the spot. Let's see
Right
what you
here in the
got.
back of my mind. Right
Okay.
here.
Let's start moving it. Let's start moving it. Let's start moving it up. No, Nikki will tell you, because I tell you, I met Nikki. And it's so amazing to me. Like so many people here, but I think Nikki, well, Michelle and Margaret are my newest friends. Because you and I reached out to, we talked a long time ago, but Nikki, she only reached out to me in February. But then I always laughed myself when she said, "Yeah, I'm going to start this planner." When? Oh, I think I'm gonna wait till December, January. I said, "Yeah, I think September's good." She released that thing in September.
Yeah.
Let's get it going. Why are you holding it back? Let's start moving it up a little bit, writing down a little bit. That's what I do. I have 4 ebooks drafted, outlined. So when I can sit down and figure them out, because I actually want to take those and just turn them into courses and webinars. So the ebook that I already have released, I'm already writing out my courses, and so you never know. That reselling ebook, I put that together. I told people to be ready in 2 months. It was ready in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
And that's how Grant Cardone wrote his book. So that book he wrote, he just sat down and knocked the whole
you can
thing
do it.
out.
You can
So
do it. And then you just do like, you turn it into a webinar or course. It's all you do is get you talking to your phone, and then hook it up to Google, and then let that sucker print out or whatever. I have a teleprompter app that I paid.
oh nice.
I paid $20 for it. That's for lifetime, and I just talk into it, and then it'll put my whole speech. So now I can do videos or whatever my goal is with that. That's another technology thing that I still have yet to figure it out. So see, I don't have it all together, but Nikki says it feels like I do. So yes, so definitely I'm hoping that maybe a book or something, I said to Tanya earlier, she Splendor Lily, she's like, yeah, she was saying something. I said, okay, well, maybe it's time for you to teach. She said, oh, you just calling me out like that. Yep. All my roast. I got nothing but love for you. I got nothing but love. You said, Nikki said, I remember. Yeah, Nikki. I'm telling you, see how much love we have. See how much love is all around. All the support and all the things that have happened. You never know. Life brings challenges, but it also brings great things too. And it's so important just to remember, if we just walk out on our why every single day, then we won't say no to opportunity. We won't hold ourselves back, and we won't stay still. That's why I say, if you fail forward, I love to say, fail forward. When we walk in and we catch ourselves, like we trip. No, just stand back up and keep going. The guy, he get down there and be like, "Dad, what is going on? What?" No, women, they pretend like it never even happened. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to trip a little bit and stand right back up and keep on going. Or if you fall down, you get back up and you keep moving forward. That's what I love. I just like the momentum. So hopefully I'm not behind people just pushing them. I'm always just going to be behind you, just pushing you. What can you do next? What else do you have? What else? You got something else? Because I know you got something else, right, Tiana? You're going to got something else. Okay, you finished that. Now you got something else coming. right? So that thing in the back of your head, right, is ready to come out next week, right?
It's moving. It's
It's
moving.
moving up. Here you go. It's moving up. So last couple of things. So what is your goal? 2020, I think it's been fruitful. It has been a little bit of a challenge for some of the things we've been going through, real life stuff, right? But through that adversity has been coming flourishing some beautiful things, right? So what is the most beautiful thing that's happened to you this year?
Well, this year I would have to say being able to spend so much time with my daughter. I am loving it. She does miss her friends, but I'm loving it because I know soon she'll be a grown up and she'll be out of my house. And this is a rare opportunity that most parents will never get again. And a lot of parents never got to begin with. So I'm so grateful that I'm able to stay home with her while she's home, make her breakfast, wake up, give her kisses, see her in the middle of the day and have lunch together. I love every moment of that. And I'm not ready for it to end, but I am ready for it to end at the
No,
same
I
time.
understand what you're saying. Look, the kids of 2020, all of them, whether it be from K to college, the ones who missed graduation, they will trump our I walked a mile in the snow. They will trump any story that we ever had to come up with.
Yeah.
If we had a rough childhood, they will beat us no matter what. So it's like, so just enjoy it. I do, like, when I listen to people, I do miss my children. It takes me to like a melancholy state, like, oh man, because it does. It's like you blink and they're like, man, they're there, but they're out there though doing their things. That's the other thing. Plus, I get to do whatever I want. I can sleep till 9 if I want. I don't have to worry about. Even when my daughter was a senior this time last year, she was catching the bus to school, so I still had to get up to make sure she got up at 6 because I wasn't driving her 30 minutes away to school. Hey Rhonda, we were looking for you. What is going on? Yes, Michelle knows. Fail forward. Indeed. That's it. You got to fail forth. And then Brittany says, that's awesome, Tiana. Love that you are working with your future leaders. I'm telling you, she is doing it. So that is absolutely a beautiful thing. So as we head into 2021, what is it that you think you would like to accomplish going forward, from January to December next year?
Well, I guess I'm just going to say it out loud. It completely freaks me out. But I'm only on Poshmark. I've been on Poshmark for 2 years. I tried my car, I tried eBay, but I really want to open my eBay store. I really want to be able to sell on eBay, and even saying it right now, there's little butterflies all in my stomach. Like, are we really going to do this? So I would really like to do that going forward in 2021 and just commit to opening my eBay shop, being consistent with that, keeping Poshmark consistent at the same time. So I'm good at both. So that's really what my goal is, on top of also maintaining my website for 2021. Just add that new platform, keep it consistent, and then just whatever other things come along, work on them as they come. But eBay's the big one because it scares me.
Yeah. No, eBay is very scary. Like, I started reselling because my husband was reselling, and I wanted to do something with him. But he was selling on eBay, but he was grouchy. He was like always complaining. I was like, I don't know if I want to learn what you're learning. I want to go like sourcing and stuff with you, but I didn't like it. So I remember the app my sister told me about was Poshmark. So I started on Poshmark first, but I wanted to come home from work. So I was like, how can I come home really quick? So I took the plunge and opened up 2 eBay stores. And that was 2 years ago. I've been home for 2 years now. And so I opened up 2 eBay stores. And in 3 months, my 6-month goal became a 3-month thing. I was able to come home. And so it's changed a lot. One of the reasons that I stopped selling, I just opened it back up. And that's only because I have List Perfectly. Only reason. Because I can cross. Seriously, I'm keeping it real. As real as I can. Because at the end of the year, I get rid of every year. I reevaluate. I'm going to be letting some stuff go. So which one is going to go? Depop is definitely going. I love Depop, but it's slow. So slow. If you only get 1 sale a week, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? But eBay, I'm like, you know what? The only thing I don't like about eBay, it is too much stuff to list in there. But I'm like, you know what? List Perfectly, drop some stuff in there. And I'm not buying stuff to source for eBay. It's what I already have. I'm going to put my vintage in there. I'm going to put my Poshmark in there. I'm going to put my Macari in there. And just go from what happens. So I encourage you, we're going to do this together. It's a couple people in our group, like Terry's working it out, and a couple other people. Christy's working it out. Pamela doesn't come on that often, but Pamela sells consistently, so we can just put the shout out in a group and we'll support each other. For me, again, it's like, it could be hit or miss. I'm not going to stress over it. And I don't think it's scary. It's just a lot involved. And you have actually one of the best mentors. You're doing this. You get up and you early in the morning and you're in the mastermind with Chris from Daily. You can't beat that. Seriously, just to talk to him and get all that knowledge, you're on the right track for that. So how can you be afraid? Let's see. I want to get past my eBay mental block and start listing there. Also want to start Facebook business page. Maybe do more YouTube videos, but I'm a dummy with editing. Just do what you can do. The only way you can start is start, and we stay inside of our comfort zone. You got to step outside of it. And the only way you can step outside of it is to take that step. So Nikki says, just made a sale on eBay last night. Congratulations, Nikki. So Tiana and I, we're going to be ending. Does anybody have any questions? Put your questions out there. If you have any for her, we can do a real quick, question and answer segment so that she can kind of go on her way. So after 2021, do you foresee what you want to do? Because you're really on track to do so much. I'm loving this conversation. You already know what you want to do because you were talking about that. We talk about that, and you were talking about it on your live and things like that. You really know what your focus is. What's the scary, aside from eBay? eBay to me is whatever. But what's the scariest thing that you want to do that you're hesitant to do?
Well, I don't think there's anything other than eBay, because everything else on my list of stuff to do, I'm like, oh, we're just going to do it. No problem. I've already gotten over the fear of being in front of everybody. So I did that last year. So that's over. So those were the only two things that was really kind of oh my God, I'm terrified. And I think the other thing is, just because sometimes people around you, even though they mean well and they love you to death, I struggle with a fear of success. So I actually have to talk myself, people yeah, let's go be successful. And I'm like, I don't know. And I hear that little voice. So I have to say, wait, have a seat, little voice. We can do that. And then we just do it. And so I've learned this last year as well, 2020, if it makes you nervous, run toward it.
Yeah,
because that's where you need to be.
Yeah. I say it all the time. If you watch any of my videos, if you're scared, that's when you're supposed to do it. Go into it scared. Be as scared as you want. Feel everything you need to feel. Because when you make it to the other side, you can be like, yeah, I did that thing. I did that thing. Man, I showed up. Let me tell you something. And that's how you look at it. Bring it, say, bring it on. Create a challenge for yourself. But I definitely think you're going to really kick eBay's butt. Just take your time, learn everything. I see you, I pop on. I say, okay, there go Tiana the other day. I said, there go Miss Brittany and Tiana playing around over there. I ain't getting up with Chris.
That meeting, make sure, because my goal is to pretty much have everything done before the meeting. So that means I got to get up and get it done, jump into the meeting. And then after the meeting, I just decided the other day with Brittany that as soon as the meeting's over, I'm going to record one YouTube video and edit it. And then at noon, I'm done. We're not doing nothing else.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah, I actually just started myself going to bed at a decent time again and cutting off. Some days out, I give myself permission for stuff that I want to do. Because one, I'm a little bit older. And I'm being in the house, everything we're going through, it kind of keeps you in. So you're I'm just going to work or whatever, because this is my office, but that's another reason I separated it. Where this is where I'm at now is all my desk and everything. And then it's my loungy area, but I do have a little workstation. But I'm this week, 2 days a week, I'm done at 5. Then after that, if I want to work, I'll work. But also, if I stop working, I will close down all the computers, and that's when I'm outlining my courses and things. I wanted to say hey to Rhonda, Brunch with Diva. Hello, girlfriend. I was looking for you earlier. Hey. So Tiana, I want to tell you, Tiana was nervous, friends, but I'm telling you, we're friends. We're good friends. She good now. She good. So anytime you come on with me, we're just good friends. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. 1, 2, you got this. 3, I validate you. Okay. 4, you can do all things. And 5, you must do the things you think that you cannot do. That's for everyone, every single day. That's my quote. That's not my quote. That's Eleanor Roosevelt. That's the quote that I live by. I have one here, one back there, and one on my vision board table. That every day I just push myself. And I am super proud of you, friend. I'm so glad you're in my group. If
Me
you,
too.
these ladies are superstars. It's like I don't let anybody in, and just anybody in. So like I have like a process that I go through, and I'm like, yeah, I think she'll be a good, I think she can fit in, because believe me, the ladies will let me know. It'll be DMs or whatever. Because we just not because some of these ladies been hanging with me. It's going to almost 2 years when I started my journey, and I want to tell you, 2019 is when I started. Like, wow, it seems like it's been forever, but it's only been then. So just continue to hustle, do your thing. What Wendy's asking something here. Tiana, what do you love about reselling? I'm trying to remotivate myself with reselling.
Well, let me give you the shallow thing. Shopping, of course. That's the shallow. But the thing I really like about reselling is it gives me the freedom to bring in income to then be able to help others. One, starting in my household. You can't take care of your house, can't take care of anyone else. So I teach my daughter first. And then now that has given me that platform that just started where now I'm able to teach other children as well. So it just gives me freedom. So whatever that freedom is that you're looking for, that you want to do, if it's hanging out on the dock on the weekend or being done with work at 2 o'clock, I just know if I get these tasks done, then I'm free to do whatever it is that I set my mind to or want to do that day. And that's what I really like about reselling.
Yeah. One thing I will say about what I will say, Wendy, the reason why, because I already know where your heart is. So sometimes when we don't have that, that's what that place that Tiana were talking about earlier. Sometimes you have to let things go. And because you're doing these other things, you have to kind of start letting go and open up your heart more so you can put more into where you're growing. So Wendy, hopefully, if you want to still do reselling, you'll do it, but I already see where you're going. I'm pulling her. I'm letting her go slow. I'm working with Wendy slow because I don't want to scare her off. Uh, so everyone, I want to thank you so much for coming. If you did not hit that thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up. I do have a membership group. If you want to join, I'm going to be doing a lot of behind the scenes. I think I'm going to bake something this weekend. And I'm heading with my husband tomorrow. We're going to go out sourcing. I have not been to the bin since May. And we're just going more so that I can get some footage for videos and stuff. But I want to start doing a little bit more every week. And next week, tune in because I will be on with my handsome husband, Thomas, who is Posture DX, and we'll be on. We used to have Tucker Talks. We're not going to do that again, but he will be my guest next week. So I want to thank everyone for coming. I appreciate you so much. Love you guys.